Well, hey there, Paw Paw Chronicles. Welcome to the Paw Paw Chronicles and More with Jim. Well, the other day I cut one of these bags open to look at the root structure, and what I saw I really liked. I pre-dug a hole. I did a mixture of organic soil in with the soil that's there. The hole is bigger in diameter and deeper than what this pot is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the pot down in here for a sec. I added the dirt, took the dirt out, the mixture I added back in there, and I watered it down for it to compact. About that deep of soil below it that has been broken up and loosened up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this bag down here, and we're right about the right depth where I want to be. So it means I can go ahead and cut this bag open and get ready to do what it is I want to do. And we're all going to take a look at what it is that we can see. Throw that down there, it'll rot. It's just string. Now, what we're going to do is, muggy. It's going to rain. We're finally going to get it today. I'm trying to get this done before the rain hits. Let's go ahead and unzip the bag. Take it down a little bit further. Now, the reason why I'm doing this way is there's got to be root system down there for this tree to be growing the way it's growing. Let's get it down close to the ground. And I got some mycorrhizals here called soil moist that I'm going to sprinkle down into the bottom of that. And I'm going to be generous. And we're going to see how it works out. Put the lid back on that, just in case it does decide to rain while I'm doing this. Well, although I don't think it will. Now, let's have a look-see. And cross our fingers that this works out. The other one that I repotted worked out great. Yeah, I'm seeing root matter right here. So we got root. That's a good thing. Good root development. That's what we're after. And that's probably going to end up needing more soil, because when I take this completely loose and it's actually ripping, yeah, there's some good root matter right here also. Put a little bit more soil in there just to be on the safe side, because that's going to compact down. Not to mention the very bottom's probably going to break loose. Better be safe than sorry. I can always reach down in there and kind of rake it out of the way. Smooth it out. Now then, as I said, the very bottom of it broke away. Bring this in closer. You can see the root down in the bottom that's developed. Yeah, let me set this down nice and gently. And you know what? Just for good measure, I want it to have contact with the root. It'll grow down through and make contact. Oh, just right. And right here, you can see where the root was tangling into the bag, and I had to rip it to get it out. That's a good thing. That bag did what it was supposed to do. Retain that root. I got a feeling this here is going to take off pretty good. I'm very, very pleased with what I see. We're going to get a little bit of dirt in there. And yes, this dirt is extremely dry. But we're going to water it heavy. And what I'm going to do is smooth the dirt down and around. And take a little bit more of this. We're going to go right up against the root follicles along the edge. So we want good contact. That stuff right there is good stuff. It'll help that tree pull nutrients from the ground into the root system and feed that tree. Now I'm just going to put one layer on top of that. Just to keep the mycorrhizas in place. I got the hole filled up about halfway. And now I'm going to water it because we're going to keep adding to it. I shouldn't have to worry about air pockets because we left it in a root ball. I didn't want to break that root ball up and disturb it. Now you see how it tried to grow into the bag. Well, it'll do the same thing with the soil. And that's one of the reasons why I mixed raised bed soil up with the regular soil, just to break that soil up so the roots can find their way to push outward. And that's what I wanted to do. But I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing here. This, by the way, is the Wabash that I had shared with you, that I had grafted. Oh, that one there was a March 25th. when the graft took place. So that tells you it was woke up extremely early, comparatively speaking. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take his tag off because the tag is going to go on the post. Water it in very, very well. I like working with root suckers as far as grafting and putting them in my personal fruit garden. Root suckers, in my personal opinion, they do far better than seedlings. And like I had explained in the previous video, I was going to plant this one next to another one, and I'll show you the other one, and we'll look at the size difference between the two. Wind's starting to pick up. Go away, bee. Those yellow jackets are nasty. And that's going to need a little bit more. And you know what? It's not sunny. It's cloudy. I'm going to take the cage off the other one right here beside me. And you can see the size difference, although the other one has more leafing, but it had a chance to leaf out in the fruit garden here. And I'm going to take the cage off and we'll look at the difference between the two, in which, as I said, one different thing between the two. This one here has had a chance to bush a little bit, and that's because the terminals got burnt from the winter and it decided to push outward. Looks like it's going to need a little bit of fertilizing, or it could be just because it's dry. Put another thin layer on that. And as I said, I've got 4 trees that I want to plant out here. And this is the first of the 4. Roughly where the camera is where I'm going to plant the IXL. And then I have Benny's favorite and Jerry's big girl to put out here, which those are going to be actually in the little makeshift orchard I got. These 2 are just outside it, but close enough. It's going to get pollination, especially the 2 next to each other. Now, got a little bit wet. Okay. Now, I've always used burlap, and burlap's okay to use. It rots quick, but it's a headache to cut the size. And I went ahead and picked up some shade cloth. We have the single layer coming around here. It's 50% shade cloth. And what I did was I continued to wrap until it came around to here, and it's a little bit more coverage right here. That right there we're going to plant towards the south. It'll give added coverage, and I made the cage big enough so as not to crowd the leaves. And we'll see how this works out. But like I said, you can see the difference between that one and this one. This one here is much taller. And they're parked out here next to each other. So I can do my own personal watch on it. Make my own personal assessments over the years. The difference between the two. And that's because this one is a root sucker. That was grafted. That one is a seedling. That was grafted. I'll break out my knife. Get my zip ties. Because I'm going to have to slit for the zip ties. Just a small slit. Now, some people ask, when's the best time to plant? Some people would think right now is too early in the season. Me personally, I plant all summer long. It's just a matter of taking care of them. Now, of course, some people don't have the water availability that I have. My spigot's just right over there by the house. I'm gonna run a garden hose out here to take care of business. Put the tag where it belongs. Wabash, March 25th, 2023. And we'll put the cage back on this little fella here. Wabash. (7/22/22). Man, that's kind of late to be grafted. Well, it looked like it says. I could be wrong. I hope we get this rain they're calling for. We surely do need it. I came out here and watered these trees yesterday, and I watered them pretty heavily. Anyways, there you have it. The first of 4 for the fruit garden. And incidentally, as I said, the bag is reusable. Just needs to be cleaned out and bleached. My name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome. You all have a God bless day.